Hey guys, it's Carla. Today I'm working on a canvas panel and acrylic paint. This is white, bright yellow, harvest orange, aquamarine, Caribbean, bright blue, and burnt umber. But anything close to that would work, or come up with your own colors. So just get creative with it. Alright, so I'm going to start and go ahead and get him painted in, and then I'll paint around him. So for that, I'm going to use a small brush. I'll use this round brush. And this is going to be a very loose painting and very kind of choppy. So I just want to stumble in the shape of the head. And make a lighter skin tone for the hands. I'm just using the tip of the brush and just barely touching the canvas. Okay, now I'm going to use a little bit bigger brush, maybe this flat brush, and paint the base color of his robes. So what I want for the base color, and you might want something different, but I just want kind of a light bluish green shade. Just very loose. Okay. Now, once that dries, I'll come back and add to it. But I'm going to move on to my water right now. So for the water, I'm going to first, like I did here, I'm going to put a base coat on it. Or base coats. I'm going to use different colors, but I'm just going to fill the whole thing in with different colors right now, and then come back and put highlights and lowlights in it. So I'm just going to use a large flat brush. It really doesn't matter what you put this on with. What matters is the highlights and the shadows. So I'll start with this color right in here, and I'm going in the direction of the wave, but I don't really know how important that is right now, because we're going to be putting so many layers on top of it. All right. I'll actually need to put in some color back here. All right. Now while that's drying, I'm going to go back to the robe. If I can find what I did with my brush. There it is. Okay, so in the robe, there's some lighter colors, there's some darker colors, and that's what's going to give it definition and dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my darker colors. Like right here under the arm. Again, I'm barely touching the brush, the tip of the brush to the canvas. Just very loosely. And the main thing with this is angle. You want to get your angles right so that it creates the folds in the robe. And on this, you can keep going back and forth with your colors until you're happy with it. Like I might still come back with this color later, but it'll just depend on how it's looking to me. But again, just make sure your brush strokes are going in the right direction. Now I'm going to wash my brush and come back with white. And if you do this while all of it's still wet, then it'll kind of blend together and work better for you. Alright, so I think I'll start on the sky right now. So I'll just use a flat brush to get my, again, my base coat in. So a white and yellow mixture. Okay, so right here is where I want my brightest light to be. So I'm going to go ahead and loosely get that shade in there. And then I can move on to the darker shades as I get farther out. So now I've mixed up my next color, which I want to be mostly right back here at the horizon. And again, this works better if you do everything while it's still wet, so that you can blend them together better. And don't worry if you go over something that's in the foreground, because you can always paint it back in. Now up here I want some of this color just to kind of make it all go together and be cohesive. So while that's still wet, I'm going to come back with a damp brush and just make it all come together. And then I want a little bit of that sky color down here in the water. So you really can't, I need to get that off there. You really can't tell like where the water stops and the sky starts. Alright, now I'm going to go back and fix what I messed up here. Kind of went over his hair a little bit. It's very easy to just put it back in. Even though I want this loose, I want to define him a little more. So I'm going to take my time and kind of put my color right up against him. But I don't want it to be obvious that I did that, so I want to kind of bring it on out here. Okay, the same thing over here. When you've got important details, you really want to put them in, even though for the most part you want like a really loose painting. But if you want something defined, something to really stand out like I want him to, then sometimes you got to take your time and go around it. All right, now I'm going to use a hog bristle fan brush. A soft bristle brush won't work for this. It's got to be this stiff, the hog bristle. And so I'm going to start putting in my water, and I'm kind of tapping the, I'm not using this shape. I don't want this shape in there anywhere, so when I hit the canvas, I'm going to turn my brush in different angles and kind of just use the corner so that I don't get that moon, that crescent moon shape. But this fan brush will give you that kind of splashed look. I'm turning my brush as I go so that I don't get any patterns happening. Now when I tap in like this, I want to keep the direction of my wave in mind. Now these splatters down here are going to go right up on his robe, and so you won't be able to see the bottom of his robe. All right, now I'm going to come back with that white on my brush, Pick up a little bit of this light blue color. And I'm very, very lightly and very loosely dabbing this in. And this will just be the kind of a shadow color for the water, because even water has shadow. And this is another area where you just want to go back and forth with your light and your dark. All right, now I'm going to come in with my round brush again. If I can find it. I don't know why I keep losing that. All right, so I'm going to come in with some of my colors again. And just kind of tap them in. I just want a nice variation of colors happening. Now I can take my colors and mix a little bit of brown with them, just to give them a different flavor and a different shade. And put in some kind of warms it up a little bit. one thing to remember is the darker your darks are, the lighter and brighter your lights will look, the light colors. So like if I want this to look really bright right here, then I want to put some dark around it. Now just for interest, I want to bring in just a little bit of this color just to bring it all together. Okay, now I can come back with my fan brush and put some of my water back in, my splashes. Now this is just water. I'm just kind of softening some of my lines. I want some hard lines in here, but not all of them, because it's water. Okay, now with a liner brush, I want to go back to his robe. So I'm going to pick up just white. This will highlight it nicely and help cover your pencil lines if you've drawn those in. Okay, so maybe I just want to step back and look at it and see where it needs something else. So maybe A little bit closer to him with the water. All right, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. Give it a try. This is a fun one. And until next time, God bless you.